Hi, this is Red Bull Dance Style World Final Week, and I, Melvin Lewis, I'm going to present to you a very quick chit chat podcast with my beloved fellow community people and welcome you guys on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melvin.
We have Daniel, we have Pradeep, and we have Saumya. They are all very talented, and I'm going to start with Daniel. And so Daniel runs a page called Stance Elements, which is also not just a page; it's actually a production house, and it does a lot more than I can actually comprehend. So Daniel, like, what got you to the name Stance Elements? I wanted to always check because it's like 20 years ago you thought of this name. Is that correct?
Yes. So Stance, we are a production company focused on the art of movement and especially dance. And when we wanted to come up with a name, we were like, what is something that's like a foundation, because a lot of us, I come from the breaking background. So we're like, you've got the b-boy stance. That's like the foundation of everything. And then we added elements because obviously stance is a popular name. And then we're like, what encompasses other styles? And then at that time when I was naming, I was in the car with Ivan, Remind, other people from the crew, Style Elements. And they're like, just call it Stance Elements. I was like, all right, let's do it.
Nice. So something I wanted to check with you is like 20 years ago when you started this, I think movie production, film production, there was no thing called social media production. So how have you maneuvered and like come into this realm now of actually having a successful page with more than like 1.1 million followers on Stan's page?
Yeah, we have like 1.1 million on Instagram.
Yeah.
I mean, Instagram only started 2014.
Correct.
You have like 3.6 million on YouTube. It's just every platform, every year, social media is like changing. There's always something new, and you just have to understand it and then just structure your content for it. But like, when we started in 2008, it was just YouTube. So
It was different, yeah.
But the main structure is audience relatability and quality.
Right.
Yeah.
So when the transition happened exactly into social media, and now there's a lot of requirement, like for social media, you need like a larger team, you need multiple editors. How do you face that challenge?
Our team is still pretty small. We have about 12 people.
Oh.
But we're really good at what we do. We make friends along the way, whether it's in USA where I live or in Germany or in Japan, and we all have the same understanding and the same personality.
Yeah.
So yes, while it's work, you're always seeing us smiling because it's fun. I mean, we're filming dance. This is what we do.
Correct. But it must have been so much of fun, right? To actually have a breaking background, have knowledge about dance, and then to be able to capture it the right way. Because I think a lot of people can't capture movement like very well, but the background really helps. Does that happen with you?
Having a dance background helps a lot. All of us in Stance have a dance background. Now, whether we're good dancers or not, that's another debate. But we appreciate it, right? Nice. And for us, if it's interesting to me, because we have to be fans first.
Correct.
And then content creators second. So if it's interesting to me, then I have a feeling our audience would like it. And whether it's video quality, attention span, choosing what kind of dance how we film the dance, things like that.
Oh, wow. So another two people in the room that I have right now, one is with another 20 years of experience, I think. 20 years you've been dancing, Pradeep?
12.
12 years?
Specific. 12 to 13.
Yeah. Like started 20 years ago, but then professionally maybe 12.
Yeah.
So, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Same for you, right, Saumya?
Yes.
15 years or 14?
15.
15 years. Wow. Wow, that's a lot of dancing. And so back in the day when you all were like learning, like maybe that time shooting videos and stuff was not like a thing, and now social media has come in and you can present your work. And what is the difference that you majorly find? Is that like a challenge now to live up to expectations from social media, or is it something that you are happy with?
I wouldn't say it's a challenge, definitely, but I think it's different. It's very different from... So I train in my terrace.
Okay.
So I train in a place where there's no mirrors.
Correct.
So you have no idea what's going to happen. It's all about the feeling. Right? If I feel good, and I'm good.
Yeah.
That's the mindset you have. But when it comes to, I think when you're in front of a camera or in front of media, you have people who have opinions about their movement, and you kind of have to tackle that thing. But apart from that, I think it's a good thing for me.
Okay.
I get to see myself, so it works.
How about you, Saumya?
Social media for me is fun.
Fun?
Yeah. And you get to showcase your art, your skills, and people see you, and that's nice.
Yeah, but like as everybody knows in this room that it's not just any social media handle that that you can't feed. So you have to constantly keep posting a lot.
Correct.
Yes.
Are there pressures?
There is definitely. I think when you start off, maybe no, but as you go along and probably you reach a certain level, then there is like an obligation for you to stay there, and because there is an expectation set from people, but I think that's a good expectation, really, right? They just want to see you, and in a way, if you take it that way, I think it's fun. Just
So
like how she said.
has that worked for you? Like, or do you feel like pressured a bit at times?
No, I don't think I felt pressured. Maybe in terms of the creating aspect, maybe to be creative about it, maybe that could be. But just to dance, no. Like I love dancing, so I can dance anywhere, anytime.
So as a social media creator, it has been a little challenging to feed, you mean?
Could be, yes.
How's it for you, Saumya?
Sometimes it is pressuring because, like when I post this dancing and then something else, they don't like it. So I need to focus on this. Then sometimes it's like, मुझे जो चाहिए वो मैं नहीं कर रही हूँ.
The duality.
जो हाँ, जो पसंद है वो नहीं हो पा रहा है.
Yeah.
यही कर रही हूँ, ये क्या हो रहा है? तो थोड़ा shift हो जाता है.
Yeah. I mean, like, Daniel, like, this is what has been happening here in India because, like, we are also bound by trends here. I'm sure it's the same thing in the US as well. And you're somebody who's facilitating so much of video content out there. So everything like from choosing your choice of music that you need to patch or to keep it organic, because mainly when you're covering battles, I think you try and keep it organic.
Yeah.
But then what are the other challenges with music that you face over there?
Yes, I mean, you have trends, like TikTok especially coming up, you have music trends, and it will help drive views. But one of the reasons that Stance does so well with dancers, especially with our core audience, like the hardcore dance community, is that we let them be themselves. Like, yes, I know this song is trending, but what do you like? What do you actually feel, you know? And they appreciate that.
Yeah.
They totally appreciate that.
Yeah.
And also, because we are dance fans, what ultimately we want to do what interests me first, as selfish as it sounds. I like, for example, I was just in 3 weeks in Nepal.
Okay.
The level in Nepal for dance is not as big as USA. Obviously, it's not a big audience, but I find it fascinating. I'm like, you know, I'm going to film some Nepalese dancers.
Nice.
And I know it won't get as many views, but I want them to feel good. And I
Nice.
want them to, and ultimately, if I feel good about it, they feel special, that's all that matters. And then eventually, yes, we can go back to the trendy stuff, but sprinkle it in with stuff like you like, and you make you feel much less, it makes it a lot less pressure as a social media content creator.
Nice.
Yeah.
So to everybody who's listening right now, this is what is happening right now. Like the best thing about the dance community is that when you have people that are facilitating dance in different ways, be it a production house or be it other things, like this setup has like made me meet so many people. It's always good when you have a dancer as your director or a producer. Yeah. So if there's any work out there and you need like a good director or producer, you have me and you have all of us. I think dancers are also great directors and producers and not just good choreographers. So now I will move to another important topic and aspect, which has been the current trend and the scene, which is AI.
Okay.
So now AI is something is like picking up right now, and obviously there are so many careers, like, you know, like you have editors and script writers and everybody crying foul on it and stuff. How do you think is it like going to impact the dance community?
I think it will just make a lot of your planning easier, because I do use some AI applications sometimes.
In
And
what
it's
way
just,
do you use it, if I may ask?
Purely for text.
For text.
Purely for text. Like in terms of, let's say I want to draft a storyline to create something, or if I want to probably add a pitch to something, to a company or to a production, then it really works for me, because on the other side I had to all the way create a whole new thing. But now it's a little more easier. And I think that's the advantage, and I prefer taking only the advantage of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because on the other side, I think it could become a problem if this whole this face masking thing which is happening, that could be an issue, because I think as dancers, all of us, I think we crave for authenticity, right? Like we really enjoy being original about our style.
Correct.
And probably that should not get diluted is what I feel. Because
You
the
fear
moment
also.
it gets diluted, it becomes normal.
Correct.
It's nothing special. And the beautiful part of dancing is that you're special. Like
Yeah.
if you need this information, you have to come only to this dancer.
Correct.
Right? So when it becomes normalized, then it could be a problem. Yeah.
So Saumya, you're clearly the youngest in the room. What is your take on AI?
I haven't used or interacted with something as AI, but I think अगर उसे properly use किया जाएगा तो सही है. Overuse थोड़ा मुश्किल है पर मैंने अभी तक इतना कुछ हुआ नहीं है वैसा कि मैं ज़्यादा कुछ किया है या उसके साथ.
Daniel, for you, has it been like more of a boon having AI by your side now?
AI is, we actually have a really good AI person on our Stance team. His name is, his handle is JBoogs, and he's done AI for like music artists, Grimes, like Coachella, stuff like that. It's just a tool. It's just like any other technology camera tool. Like I remember maybe 10 years when gimbals got really popular. Everyone was doing gimbal.
Yeah.
And then now people are like, I like that handheld effect looking better. It's just like another tool. Like I used AI. There's a video that we did was slow motion, a dancer, and they had cool cherry blossoms, you know, in Japan. The cherry blossoms were AI, you know, but it just made the video better. But ultimately, you can't recreate like the dance feeling with AI. You can't create the crowd going crazy and then the cheers. So yeah, it's just another tool.
Yeah, it's just another tool. So,
Yeah.
but you need to like use it wisely.
Use it wisely.
And responsibly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that is something that probably needs to be brought to notice. Like
I think audiences pick up if it's not authentic easily. Like if we see a highlight video and we see a bunch of ads immediately in the first 3 weeks, next, right? So you have to make it relatable.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now, does it feel like a little unfair that suddenly AIs come in and then you had these tools missing when we all started, and then now it like shrinks the time of other people trying to achieve a few things? Like
I think there's only one thing I would want to mention on this thing. So earlier, if you have to create a craft, right, there is a process of how you get there. There's a story behind, from just like how we told the name.
Yeah.
There is a story behind that. But now it's more like, give me 10 names with this particular topic and you get that. So I feel the process of creating is somewhere missing. And because that's missing, it could not be as satisfying as it is in usual. Because I think...
but doesn't it save time?
It does, but do you
It's
also...
not authentic.
how do I put this across? I think it's more like, so we all drive by feeling, right? Like you win, probably you don't enjoy the trophy, but you enjoy the moment, right? You enjoy the moment because you have a process of getting there behind.
Correct.
Now, if that process is cut off and you just directly put there, I'm like, you hold the trophy, it feels like surprising, like how did I get here?
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So I feel that sometimes, could be a problem because
For the artist.
yeah,
For the true
like
artist.
you can get stuck because you're always depending on AI tools and you're just working around this.
Yeah.
But let's say there's no internet one day, you're just stuck, right? So I feel that process is what we as artists enjoy the most. At least for me, I enjoy that process or the journey of getting to that point. Because at the end of the day, that's what I want to tell to the next generation. I definitely want to tell my kids or someone else's kids that this is the process I went there.
Nice.
And I didn't click on some, AI tools to get there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Coming to Daniel, there have been some really fun captures via your production company
Yeah.
of some of the biggest world events ever.
Yeah.
This being one of it.
Yeah.
And how has it been like for you to reach out to them initially? Because I know the effect. Like once you do one world event capture, and then probably becomes easier to capture others. But to break through and actually come through, being a company that was doing more of dance content to now capture like multiple genres, how has it been?
It's been great. We always have curiosity.
Yeah.
Even before I started filming dance, I lived in Africa. I lived in Alaska. I lived in Canada. I lived in Korea.
Wow.
And you just have curiosity. And so when you put a camera in my hands, it's like, okay, it's just like me living my life, seeing what I see, except I'm just hitting record. So you keep your same personality, keep your same friendship building with everyone. Just be authentic to yourself and to your friends. And people just started watching.
Nice.
And I didn't come to India. First time I was in India was 2019.
Nice.
And like even he's from Bangalore. I was in Bangalore 2 years ago, hanging out with dancers.
Oh, nice.
I came back and I made a documentary for the Olympics on the Bangalore scene.
Oh.
So it's like I didn't know that scene until 2019. But it's just like you discover things and you always be curious and just stay true to yourself. Yeah.
You mentioned a documentary. What's the name of it and where can we
So
find
if you
it?
go on Olympics.com, we have season 1 is a 5-part season about the Olympic journey to the Olympics, and one of the countries of the 5 is India.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's all about B-Girl Joe from Bangalore, Black Ice Crew,
Let's go, shout out.
yeah, and then Flying Machine and
Oh, yeah.
Wild Child from Mumbai.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
So, so you've spoken about a documentary already, and have you ever thought of doing a commercial dance film,
Film.
like a dance film?
We do like social media commercials and short form commercials, but nothing really like with a narrative. It's not really my style.
Yeah.
I'm more focused on realism.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I think
real
that's
capture.
another beast to handle, and I don't want to touch that.
So no movies happening.
No, unfortunately.
So Saumya, your journey has been very dynamic because you've been doing something which is reality shows,
Yes.
and now you're going to be battling in the wild card.
Yes.
Are you excited?
Super excited. I was very young when I started with battling actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and then after that, totally commercial.
Nice.
And back to this.
So has there been like a switch? Are there two modes, like Saumya goes into this battle mode and then Saumya goes into reality show mode? How has it been?
That was fun. The battles are fun because it's real. You just need to be you, be in the moment, and there are cameras and too hectic. The aura, the presence, पूरा change हो जाता है. उधर एक हिसाब से रहना पड़ता है. You
Correct.
can't be you.
And आप battle ज़्यादा enjoy करते हो?
Battle ज़्यादा enjoy करती हूँ.
Is it the
But
same for you?
वो भी ज़्यादा enjoy करती हूँ क्योंकि cameras and I love
Correct.
cameras.
But camera से बहुत love you get. You get like a lot of love
Yeah.
when you present your work, and
Yes.
then you like at many a times like you don't know who's watching, and then how the phone starts to ring, and there are more opportunities coming in.
Yes.
So I think camera does that bit
Correct.
great. But as Daniel clearly added that having the real capture as a scene is something, and I think I personally also believe in it because I think true artistry is all about keeping it real and never working on a brief, and I think movies do that to us. Sometimes reality shows also do that
Yes,
to us,
correct.
where the creative is a little controlled. So many times like artists feel like very controlled and they don't like it. Like they wouldn't do that. They don't want to wear that. They don't want to be that. Does that happen, Pradeep? Like has it ever happened to you where you had a brief and you had a choice whether to take or break it and reject it? Did you take it?
I think I am somebody who can work with anything. Like I have that mindset as well because I understand. I don't think anybody wants to push you into something. They need something for them.
For
and
them.
It works in this way.
In this way.
But I think we come to a common ground. That's how I work.
Yeah.
Like I would push a little, like get out of my comfort and be a part of you. And I think I would expect the same from you as well. But I think I enjoy the dance more. Like let there be a battle, let there be performing, let there be on stage, off stage.
Yeah.
I probably focus more onto the dancing aspect of me, like how I feel about that, than how I look for the day.
Nice.
So, in a way, irrespective of what I'm wearing, I'm sure I'll pull it off. That's the kind of headspace most of the times.
Daniel, I want to take you back to your breaking days.
Yes.
And it'll be insightful to know like how those habits have now become your habits with your firm and your other creatives. Like was there anything that you which was very significant about you as a habit when you were breaking, and then it translated into your work even as of today? Like does it translate? Like I'm asking about like the good habits you make or like some stubborn habits you make that stay along.
Okay, so I started breaking 2001.
Wow.
2001. It's been it's over 20 years.
I wasn't even born.
You
He
were
wasn't even born.
I was 6 years old.
I started breaking in 2001, and I am from a small town in the USA. I'm from the area called Minnesota. It's near Canada. It's cold. There's no one there, and for me to see other different styles, you had to actually have to drive like 3-4 hours to the nearest big city like Chicago, or you go online, the internet. The internet is where we see all the content. I'm very certain the Indian breaking scene grew up on the internet.
Yeah.
And because of the internet, we got curiosity. We were like, oh, something cool is happening in Korea. I want to see this. Something cool is happening in France. I want to see this. And then just that curiosity has always stayed with me. And so for me now, even in 2024, I think there's more people like me growing up than there's breakers in the bigger cities. Like people don't have access to this, and that we still have that curiosity.
Nice.
And so I take that mindset into stance, and that's why like it's cool to be like. I mean, today we showcase Pradeep from India.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
I
yo,
woke up to that.
I know, yeah. I was like, yo, you guys haven't, I know you guys have seen the French all-style dancers and then the Americans. Check out some Indian. You know, it's like, it's cool.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel good how you're just expanding this. And you see people will go see it from your perspective.
Pradeep, like just the way Daniel's picked up curiosity, something that you've picked up?
I
Been a habit?
started dancing because of that. Like,
Yeah. But if you can amplify other things, like apart from curiosity, if there's anything else that has gotten
I
added.
think dance for me is a very disciplined aspect. Like I love training.
Discipline, yeah.
Like more than competing, I love training every day. Like that's been a part of my life.
Correct.
It's like if I don't train, I train probably around 11 to 1 in the night,
Wow.
and then I sleep after that. But if I don't do that, it doesn't feel complete for me.
That's your final ritual.
Yeah. Like irrespective of how tired I am, I'll still go to my terrace, play some music, have this small yellow light in one corner. I like that yellow vibes.
Nice.
And I just move, and I think that has kept me going. And because I started as a breaker,
Nice.
I've always worked on staying clean to the music, because breaking is a style which is definitely, it has dynamics to it, but it's also a lot to do about characters. Like if you see breakers, generally when you watch them, every single person is a character. You can see them funny, you can see them explosive, you can see them angry, you can see different types of characters. That's something which personally works very well for me, and I go by that. So even being a hip hop dancer now, I still have this breaking route, which is continuing to be a part of my dance.
Which is like keeping it disciplined and clean.
Yeah.
Nice.
And fun.
And
Like
fun.
the characters.
And mood also, because you like the yellow light.
Yeah.
Any mood, aesthetic, जो आपको पसंद है, like dance करते वक्त, I want like some particular lighting or some form of volume or something ऐसे, some small habits, how Saumya?
हाँ, लाइट्स थोड़ा ऑफ.
Off dim?
हाँ, पर एक सबसे फनी चीज़ ये था कि मुझे डांस पसंद ही नहीं था.
Really?
हाँ, बचपन में बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं था. मम्मी डांस करती थी और मम्मी ऐसा लगता था कि फोर्स कर रही है, और सब जगह मैं जाके ये भी बताती थी कि मेरी मम्मी फोर्स कर रही है डांस करने के लिए. बट बाद में इतना ज़्यादा पसंद आ गया कि सब गए, बस डांस ही अभी.
But now you're enjoying it.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah? तो आपका ritual क्या है? Like how many hours do you train every day? You have to. कि जब
Whenever
मन
I
किया.
get time, I do.
Yeah. But now it must be so hectic for you,
Hectic,
like
it's
managing
hectic.
work related and everything. Yeah.
Yes.
Curiosity is a nice one, actually. I think
Yeah.
that is like the crux of many great artists. Like it all starts with curiosity, exploring, and then I think it like just transpires. One leads to another, and to be able to, and you know, these habits never break. I
Yeah.
think it's been something, but I think like when we also speak about artistry, we also need like good facilitators. Like this is such a beautiful platform. We are right now here at Red Bull Dancer Style World Final Week, and this has been very overwhelming to actually cross over and meet so many other artists that are like-minded and to learning. So good facilitation is something that probably is the need of the hour. I think there are not so many good facilitators, and I think Daniel, you've like closely worked with so many big brands that are facilitating like a lot of like, you know, a lot of content, a lot of activity around dancers now. So how has it been like in the journey? Do you think that there is more dance representation needed, so we need more facilitators, or do you think that it's good enough for now?
I would love more. I would love more. I would love more, and then also more brands that understand the culture.
Yes.
It's easy to come here and do a one-off and then go, and then you don't feel the connection. You don't feel the connection. You know, Red Bull has. I remember working with Red Bull like 15 years ago is very different than working with Red Bull in 20 now.
Wow.
You know, all these brands have grown, and they do so much more, and they learn like this works, this doesn't work. So it's very trial and error. But yeah, I would love to see more brands that dive more into the culture and like do things that not only dancers but dance fans feel like they feel close to.
I mean, honestly, I never thought I'll be a part of Red Bull. Never thought, like honestly. Because I always thought maybe I'm a very serious dancer. Like my way of approaching it, like plain face and just move, feel good, get out. That was the approach for a long time. And even today, if I go to a regular battle, like which is let's say a one-on-one hip hop or one-on-one all style or an international jam, the approach is still that same, because the responsibility there you have is that you represent yourself and you come from a place. But I think when I took part, I think the first year at Dance Your Style, until then I didn't even know I can actually do this as well. Like I can probably move to a Bollywood song. I liked listening to it. I loved dancing with them. But probably I never thought I could do hip hop on a Bollywood song and probably approach it this way.
Correct.
Right? And for me to just start off from there, my first ever Dance Your Style was a trial. Like I just did it because let's see what's there. Let's just see what's there. But I think it was so addictive after that because I think in the whole year, this is the only time I danced to a commercial music or a different type of music from a regular, battle beat. So that is very interesting for me because it also makes me learn a lot of things. So for me, just to start from there and at a point, someone give me a call and be like, dude, you might be on the, can or you're on the world final poster. And I was like, wow. That's the only feeling I had. And I think there was a lot of silence, which is like, it's a lot of happiness, but it's like a lot of silence. I just want to observe, wow, this happened. Like, it was just like how I woke up today and I was on the bed and I see Stan's post. It was like 2019, I was in the same place and I was watching some of my best favorite breakers on the same page. And
on the same page, yeah.
I wish someday, and I wake up to it and I'm like, wow, it happened. Right? So it's the same feeling, but I think I'm just grateful to see such things happen because, as I told again, the journey is very different and it's very personal.
Nice.
And to come out and see that journey is resonating with a lot of people around and they find like, it's like me on the can is seeding a dream to someone else to start off again, right?
Yeah.
And someone did that to me.
Correct. So you getting inspiration and then from now on being inspiration to so many.
Exactly. Like when I get a message like, dude, you're representing all of us. I never wanted that.
But that's such a good compliment to have.
Yeah, like now that feels like, wow, I actually have to. And that responsibility is so strong and that energy is so strong that I probably at this moment, I just want to go back home, train more harder and come back again.
Nice.
Like that's the only thing I want to do.
What's your let's see moment where you felt let's see and then it has just translated into something magical? ऐसा कभी हुआ है कि ऐसे बोला कि like हाँ try करके देखते हैं?
मुझे battles जैसे मैं commercial में थी मेरा बहुत मन था battle करने का फिर से आओ थोड़ा अच्छे से dance कर पाऊँ और मैं बहुत सोची थी कि मैं अच्छे से practice करके फिर जाऊँगी क्योंकि commercial dancing बहुत different होता है कोरियोग्राफीज एक सेट पैटर्न हो जाता है कि आप यही परफॉर्म कर रहे हो ऐसे ही डांस कर रहे हो यही आ जाता है निकलता नहीं है बॉडी से तो मेरा ऐसा था कि आई रियली वांट टू प्रैक्टिस अच्छे से एंड देन कम टू द बैटल बट समहाउ फ्रॉम नोवेयर वाइल्ड कार्ड कम्स
and let's see
क्या होता है अभी
wow
I'm excited.
All the best, we are all excited. And Daniel, ever in life, like has it happened that you had a let's see moment?
Oh my gosh. Okay, there's like, I had already been doing this for like 8 years, and it's just for fun. I film dance regardless. If I paid or not at work, I film it. And I was like, 2016, I was like 17, I was like, how long am I going to keep doing this? Maybe I'll be like 50 years old in a cypher like this, filming, like, and then all of a sudden, breakings in Olympics. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we do to 2024. And then it just took off like this.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like, all right, let's just double down. Let's keep going ahead. Let's make this even bigger.
Yeah.
And then, aside from breaking, we have so many more styles to approach. So many other dance styles. You got popping, locking, all this stuff. They want some coverage too. And then we just did that, and our page just like exploded. And so it was like going from thinking, how long am I gonna do this to like, oh, let's keep going. Let's keep going. And I'm really appreciative about like seeing all the people watching us and enjoying what we do and where the dancing is now. So it's,
Correct. So, I mean, so isn't it true that most artistry, good artistry that comes out in the form of we pursuing, I think as artists we look forward to more of a sense of fulfillment, more beyond like anything else. And I think if I have to use the words right, like because we train for so much of time, we want to, at the end of it, be a little more fulfilled in the output. So I think that is like one crux, but like for you, for everybody, what has been the most fulfilling experience in the entire journey?
Wow. I think for me, I think I would definitely say my first international world final win, because that changed a lot, like about me, about the country itself. So this happened in Vietnam.
Yep.
It was a world final where there were 15 or 16 other countries who won in their country, and they come to Vietnam and we compete with them.
Yep.
So I won the India qualifier and I went there.
Yeah.
The fun part is, exactly a week before that, I was invited as a battle guest to Johannesburg, to Zimbabwe.
Okay.
So I went there, and I wanted to win that for sure,
Huh.
because it was a guest battle. I was invited, but I happened to lose in finals. So once I came back, the next approach was like, let's just go, let's just do whatever it is, and that worked so well that I won the India qualifier. And when I went to Vietnam, I think that was the only time in my whole career of dancing I was like, I'm going to get that. That was the mindset. Like, until then, I was always a guy who I'll just go have fun, and whatever happens, happens. But probably at that moment, I was like, I will win this. No problem. And when that happened, that moment was, I think it was a lot of pressure, or all the seniors who worked for this whole community, all that came to one point. It's like, finally, someone from India has won this. So that feeling was something else. And for me to see that win, which is a very personal win, like just like I told, I wanted to win that. But to see a reaction of everybody feeling that it's their own.
Correct.
Like when I come back to India, when I came back to Bangalore, and to see my community guys or people from North, South who are not even friends with me, when they feel that, oh yeah, now they have won, and that feeling is something else.
Nice.
And I think, as I told, that puts you in a spot where you just want to go and do this more, and there's nothing less. So for me, that is the moment. Like I would never forget that.
In your journey, Saumya, the most fulfilling thing so far?
When I won the reality show.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
India's Best Dancer season 2. And actually that was my mom's dream कि मैं कोई reality show में जाऊँ and जीतूँ, because at that time मम्मी के time पे it was just reality shows.
Correct.
तब इतना पता नहीं था और चीज़ों के बारे में. So she wanted to be there, but then it was me who was fulfilling her dream. तो अभी भी ऐसा ही है कि जो मम्मी का ड्रीम है वो मेरा है, जो मेरा है वो मम्मी का है.
Nice.
So it's like we both working for one thing, and that was the best thing when I won.
Daniel, for you, it's been a multiple fulfilling experience for sure, considering you travel the world and you do so much creatively. But if you had to point out one specific one in your list of fulfilling experiences, which one would it be?
Are Indian parents like Chinese American parents, where they're never happy with what you do?
Yes.
Like you can make you can work for Olympics, you can work for Red Bull, you can do all this stuff, and then my dad is always like, so when are you going to get a real job? And I'm like, Dad, okay. So it was a couple years ago where it was like, I took my parents to like the National Theater in Washington, D.C. There was a breaking event, and there was like an old b-boy there, like in the early 60s, doing a head spin, and I saw out of the corner of my eye my dad stand up and give a standing ovation applause like this. I was like, Dad, I see you. and it was that moment, I still remember it. It was that moment I was like, okay, so you actually like what I do now, okay. And that made me really happy.
Wow.
Because it was like, it's a lot of pressure. Like people don't understand dance and stuff like that, and like you can do all these great things, and you're like, the Chinese American parent, like, so we're gonna be a doctor or a lawyer or do this, and but if you see how many people that we try to affect through our art and stuff like that, it makes you feel good, and just knowing that your parents finally see it feels good.
That's nice.
I think definitely the parents. That's beautiful in a way, like because. My brother is a dancer, and my parents supported him well, and I was a nerd. So I used to study all the time. And now to see my parents, get the speakers and give it to me in terrace and like train. Or so I have this like Sunday session which I do in Bangalore, where it's just open for anybody.
Nice.
Like, you're in Bangalore or you're from somewhere else, you can just walk into my house, train, connect with anybody and dance. So that's something which I do every Sunday.
Correct.
So let's say this Sunday I'm here,
Huh.
but back at my house, my mom will be like she knows exactly around 5 p.m. She'll come, keep the speakers, and she'll leave. And there'll be people who will come in, train, and leave. To see that shift from parents, I think it's probably one of the most beautiful things as well.
Yeah.
Because my family loves dancing. I dance with my nieces, my kids,
Nice.
Everybody. So it's very normal, but as I told, when it comes to a career option, maybe it'll take some time for them to kind of digest that fact.
that.
But as they see that you start enjoying it more, they start enjoying it along with you.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's
In your case, it was reverse, no? You always had the support. That's a great thing. And I mean, like, of course, like fulfilling experiences, strategies, concepts of clarity, curiosity, growth, everything, but also failures, right? Like, it's been a tough journey for everybody. So you work, you train. I mean, like, you had one of the losses last night.
Yeah.
And so when we have failures, obviously, those are learning setups, but we also form like a nice coping mechanism because we personally realize how important strategizing and placing our failures in life also is like, important. So is there any particular coping mechanism that you use to actually handle your failures apart from the learning concept? I mean, like, we've heard that across always that failures are not failures and that's like learning. But in true light, in true sense, when you work very hard, strive very hard, many times you don't get the success, and of course you have to wake up the next day, and many times we wake up a little low. Then how do you take off from that? Do you take a break? Do you talk to people? Do you discuss it with yourself? How do you handle it?
I mean, I did lose yesterday, top 12. But I think in a way, this is my only way of approach. I don't do anything much. I go, I win or I lose. Let's say I lost. I come outside. I take a 5-minute break. Like I just go to my own zone. 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. And I think about everything that happened.
Yeah.
Like the whole process, journey, what happened in the moment, who won, was it fair, not fair. I think about everything, and right after 5 minutes, it's a new day. Simple.
Perfect.
So for me, it's just that. Like I never dwell into the same feeling again. It happened. I took my time to feel bad or good or analyze this whole thing, and I've come to some point, and 5 minutes later, I'm back to the moment. Like that's the only feeling I have. But yeah, sometimes in some situations it can get personal. It can get very, very personal because you're a battler. You're battling someone else, right? So it can get personal, and I think the more you prefer art to win, you become lesser. So most of the times, if the battle was really good and I lost, I think that's a win already because you had a great time. Like I don't think there's anything better than that. Even if I won or I lost, that's still the moment. Like maybe I went to the next round, but I still feel great about the previous round.
Nice.
Like I can take a very good example of one breaker who I know. Alif, his name is, right? So he's on a very big stage and everybody's doing some killer moves. Everything is crazy. And he has an Africa tattoo here, right? All he does is, he walks into the stage and the song is something related to Africa. Hey, Africa, it says something like that. All he does is, he's from Brazil. All he does is he comes and he just shows this. That's it. And I meet the same guy in Africa while he was judging and he gave the same showcase again. And all he did again was Africa. That's a moment for him. And he lost that round. But that's the thing. That's the beauty of dance, I guess. So for me, that 5 minutes, I think about all of this.
Put into perspective that time.
And then 5 minutes later, I'm a new person. I'm going to dance again.
Nice.
That's the mindset. That's the only way I approach it.
Daniel, has it ever happened to you?
You don't have to win to be successful. I've been filming this for so long.
Yeah.
The second place, the runner-up, if you are true to yourself and you relate to the audience, you won, man. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, dancer style Mumbai.
Yep.
I'm from USA. I'm actually from the same town The Crown is from. He lost top 16, but his round went crazy viral to Destiny's Child. He lost that round, but the audience related to that, and in reality, he won in life, and he's still here,
Nice.
But no, for me, it's like, okay, so I have Stance. Before Stance, actually, if hardcore breakers might know, I had another channel called Strife TV.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was us. I didn't own Strife TV. It was me and my friends. My friends, we did Strife TV from 2008 to 2013. Because I didn't own it, I had no control, but I did a lot of work. My friends just stopped filming. It was just me. I didn't own the channel. I couldn't control it, so I had to start from scratch, 0 again. And that sucked. We built a pretty good audience and just started 0. That was like, all right. But little by little, and you just keep your friend group, and you have your close friends and family, and they're like pushing you on. Just do what you like, and it'll come. And then now, like, it has grown so big, and it's just like, just be authentic to yourself. Keep your friends close, and they'll help you out.
Yeah.
I was just climbing to base camp 3 weeks ago in Everest.
Oh wow.
And in Nepal. I just happened to be here. I took it for my family. I was with my family. I did not train for this at all. And if you looked, my secret was, if you looked really high, you're like, there is no way I'm getting to that mountain. But my secret was, if I looked down on the ground, and I just took a couple of steps, then 30 minutes later, I look up, like, I'm closer.
Nice.
That's so much, it makes it so much easier, because if I looked up the entire time, I would just given up.
Nice.
Yeah.
For you, like, it must have been a very rare thing, no? But
Definitely.
any disappointments that you probably face? कभी-कभी ऐसा disappointment होता है, failures, little bit, छोटे-छोटे. How do you take it?
First is I talk to my mom. My family is always there with me. और जब ये reality show का तो scene था, almost 12 years continue I used to give auditions.
Oh wow.
और I used to not get selected. I don't know how. एक कोरियोग्राफी राउंड भी होता है, उसमें हमेशा कुछ तो हो जाता था और आगे नहीं बढ़ती थी. और कभी कभी ऐसा था, मैं जितना स्ट्रेस नहीं ले रही उतना मेरा पूरा फैमिली ले रहा है मेरे लिए. तो एक अलग ही है कि इन लोग ज़्यादा मुझे पुश करते थे जितना मैं भी नहीं होती थी उस चीज़ के लिए.
But it's so good to have that around, and I think it's been very lovely talking, knowing all of you all, and having such great insight. I mean, like, I'm learning so much right now in this less time that we have, and I think it's probably time enough to actually call it a day. But I wish this conversation could have been a lot more than what it is, and I really respect all three of you. To thank you for joining me and like being a part of this chit chat, and I am sure everybody who's listening right now has taken a lot of notes, and please, like, learn, grow, and facilitate good. I think a big shout out to all the dancers who are doing not just dance but are also doing things around dance, like something which Daniel is doing, Pradeep is doing, Saumya is doing, all in their own ways, and it's been a lovely chat. Thank you.